Hello everyone, I'm Food for Dogs, and today I want to talk about a game called Fairy Fencer F, triple F for short. The game is currently on sale on the PlayStation Network, certainly for the European region and associated regions. So if you want to snap up a bargain, you might want to have a look. There is a few interesting things about this game. As you can see, I have a few items laid out. I have the game for the PS4, unfortunately not the collector's edition, just a sort of a launch day one kind of edition, which came with an art book, and that's really nice. And of course the game itself. I'm using a digital copy to play it, which is why it's still wrapped in cellophane. The reason why I have this big sheet here from my big Final Fantasy art book is that the famous artist Yoshitaka Amano, whom you may well know from his work on the Final Fantasy games, he has been involved as concept artist for this game, Fairy Fencer F. Surprise, surprise, it's an Idea Factory game. And you can see on the back of the box a beautiful illustration that tells you straight away this is Yoshitaka Amano. Now, he was the concept artist. The main artist who did all the characters, etc., was Tsunako, who is the main artist Idea Factory have used throughout their games, or most of them. She did most of the artwork for the Neptunia games, so you will certainly know her from that. And there's a very distinctive style she has that you can recognize almost instantly the moment you see an Idea Factory game. So let's have a quick look at the art book. And I can show you a bit what this game is about. Now, the interesting thing about Fairy Fencer F is that it originally came out as a game, a late game on the PlayStation 3. These are the two main characters, Fang and Erin. Erin is a fairy. Fang is a very funny type. He provides a lot of humor in the game, and that's something I really enjoy. He is forever sleepy and forever hungry. Your typical teenage boy, in other words. And then, as is typical for Idea Factory games, you get a very large cast of very colourful characters who are all involved in a reasonably wacky story. And you get a bit of background text with it, which I always appreciate, so you can read up just a little bit extra about the characters. Where the artwork, in my view, really shines is with the fairies and the monsters, but the fairies in particular. There's some really, really beautiful design work here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the game is a bit older, coming out on the PS3 back 6 years ago. 2 years later, of course, the PlayStation 4 arrived and was a huge success, so they decided to port the game to the PS4, where it got obviously a bit more exposure. I think, I have a feeling, I don't know this, but from sort of my reading and research, I think Idea Factory were trying to aim high with Fairy Fencer F. They obviously contracted Yoshitaka Amano as a concept artist. For the music, they contracted Nobuo Uematsu as co-composer. Now, that's a pretty big name, Nobuo Uematsu of Final Fantasy fame. I already mentioned their regular artist Tsunaka, who did all the character work. And for the main development, I believe that it was mostly the Neptunia team who were working on this game, which to me means that it has a very solid basis, because the Neptunia games just play really, really well, and this game is no exception. So I find it interesting to compare it with a very current game, and some of you who've seen my other videos will remember that I did an unboxing for the very newest game from Idea Factory, Dragon Star Vanir. There are, in my mind, because I'm playing them both side by side at the moment, there are many similarities, which is quite nice in a way, because it means you can very easily get into an Idea Factory game. You don't have to stumble around wondering how does the system work, the mechanics, etc. They tend to stick to one way of doing things, tried and true, and that works well. But I can certainly tell that Dragon Star Vanir is the more recent game. They have polished quite a few things, and I find that many things like menu systems, etc., work a bit more smoothly and are more user-friendly, I would say. Fairy Fencer F is still a bit stuck in the PlayStation 3 mode of having sort of more fiddly menus and that kind of thing. However, the story of Fairy Fencer is really entertaining, and I'm enjoying it a lot. And you might have noticed I am putting up a few gameplay videos for this, so you can get an impression. But if you're after a bargain and you enjoy Idea Factory games, or think you might, then I would say go with it. There's very little to lose. Just be aware that like all Idea Factory games, there is a bit of fan service in there. I find it pretty harmless on the whole, but some people don't go for that as much, so just be aware of that. Otherwise, straightforward recommendation from me. That's it for today on Fairy Fencer, and I hope you enjoy playing the games if you have them. If not, I suggest you might want to get them, especially since they're on a really, really big discount at the moment. I'll see you all around. Keep well. I'm Food for Dogs. Bye-bye.